Hi folks, this is Doug Roper with another Fort Nelson Community Update. We're here today at the Phoenix Theatre to speak with Eric Ashdown, who has recently been nominated for the Canadian Aboriginal Music Awards. Eric, welcome to the Phoenix.
Thanks for having me, Doug.
Nice to have you here. And
My pleasure.
We're very interested in your nomination for the, I think it's the Best Fiddle Album of the Year. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah, for the Canadian Aboriginal Music Awards.
Excellent. So how did you feel, Eric, when that nomination came through? You must have been really excited.
Yes, I was very excited. It's sort of getting beyond my reason. I didn't plan on this when I decided to do the album, but I guess the people at Turtle Island in Saskatoon thought we had a chance, and we got a nominee.
That's fantastic. Now let's go back a little ways, Eric. I want to find out when you started playing the fiddle, who taught you how to play the fiddle, and basically how many years are we going back here?
Too many, a lot of years, Doug. I guess I really started playing the fiddle when I was about 14. Actually, on both sides of my family, my mom's side and my dad's side, they were all musicians. And my dad and a lot of my uncles played fiddle.
Now, coming from the East Coast and Cape Breton Island, where fiddling is a really wonderful tradition, and a lot of the masters back there, and they always talk about styles of fiddle playing. Your fiddle playing, is it based on a particular style, Eric, or is it a combination of all kinds of styles?
I like country fiddle, but I also like the old Métis style of fiddle. The style that got mixed up between the Scottish and French and English and the Aboriginal people. Mm-hmm. And it just evolved over to the years to become what we call Métis fiddling. Mm-hmm. And I'm sort of prone to that style.
Excellent. You're obviously asked to perform at many, many locations. Can you give us an idea of where you've played your fiddle around Canada or elsewhere?
Basically, I guess we started in Saskatchewan. Like I said, we had a band there. My cousins Bill and Cliff Ashdown and a fellow named Bobby Alberts and I formed the first band. I think we were called the Sons of the Prairies. Yeah, that was it. We had several names, but that was the first one, and some that people called us too. But we started in Saskatchewan, and then I moved to Fort Nelson when I was, I think, 20 years old. And then we've played in many different bands here with a lot of different people. So it kept the tradition going, and I played with, it must be 50 different musicians in this town at one time or another.
Wow, that's amazing. So, Eric, where did you get the idea to record an album? Did somebody suggest it to you, or was it just your time to do this?
I guess it was just my time to do it. I always wanted to do it, but you're busy working and raising a family, and funds are tight, and it just never fit into the schedule until last year, and my wife and I decided it's time to do it. Mm-hmm. I'm not getting any younger. She said, well, you better get doing it. It's something you always wanted to do. So she had a lot of input too, and I'd just like to say at this time that she's endured thousands of hours of fiddle music, and she's always been my biggest fan and my biggest promoter. So I think I may not have done it if she hadn't have been pushing me, but she knew that's what I wanted to do.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So did you have to work with musicians who you weren't familiar with and have to get used to their style, or how does that work? Actually,
it was a little different than that. I went down, and I was actually on my way to Batoche, back to Batoche days to perform there, and we did it all at once. So I stopped in and saw the fellow at the studio. We had it prearranged, and he did all my tracks, and then left it at that. And he got the other musicians in later and did their tracks. So I actually never met them, until this summer.
Wow. So this album now, where's it available? Where can one pick the album up?
In town here. Actually, the studio in Saskatoon has the rights to it, and you can order them from Turtle Island Music in Saskatchewan. He's on the web, and I can sell them at any place that I perform. That's the deal we have, and I can also sell them here at the Phoenix Theatre and at the Friendship Centre in town, and anywhere else they approve, and they really don't mind me selling them anywhere. They're doing okay with it as well.
That's great. And another thing I was going to ask you, Eric, I know every year you come here to the Phoenix Theatre to perform for the Food Follies, where the musicians come and they perform on a volunteer basis, and the public pays admission by food donation. Then the food is put in the Christmas baskets and distributed around town. You must do a lot of that.
We do, yes. We've done a lot of volunteer work in town, and it's good for the community. It gives us some exposure too, and sometimes we get paid a bit, and most often we don't, but that's okay. It's a community thing, and we love what we do.
Sure, that's great. So now you're heading for Hamilton, Ontario to the Canadian Aboriginal Music Awards. You're going to be sitting in the audience, waiting for a decision from the, I guess, their board of directors or whoever chooses the winners. How are you going to feel at that moment, Eric?
I don't even know. I can't even picture myself sitting there, and Linda's going to be there with me, and probably her hands are going to be white because I'm going to be squeezing it.
Right on.
But we are looking forward to it. It's going to be nice for us to go down there. And
so I guess in your travels, you've kind of become an unofficial ambassador of the Fort Nelson and Northern Rockies area. Yeah,
that's what I like to think. You know, there's a lot of people out there that have heard of Fort Nelson, and they don't actually know where it is, but they ask a lot of questions, and it's an opportunity to give us some exposure.
Great.
That's what we should be doing.
So Eric, now I'm going to ask you a favor. I was wondering if you might honor us by playing a couple of tunes for the folks at home.
Be my pleasure.
Excellent. We'll get you set up here, and we'll be into the music in a second.
Thank you.
Well, thanks a million, Eric. That was just super fantastic. I know all the folks at home are going to really appreciate that little sample of music, and we want to wish you all the best at the Canadian Aboriginal Music Awards in Hamilton, Ontario for 2009. I'd like to remind folks, Back Home Fiddle is Eric's newest CD. It's available at the Phoenix Theatre and a lot of other locations, and we know you're going to want to listen to the entire album. It's just super. So this is Doug Roper signing off with another Fort Nelson Community Update.